Thanks for checking out this video. However, you're about to get sued if you keep sending text blasts to acquire new clients, or worse, operate a call center to acquire new clients for your home service-based business. Let's get right into it. So, in this video, I'm going to be exposing the positive impact of the FCC's new Telephone Consumer Protection Act's updates. If you don't know who I am, my name is Curtis Young. I'm the founder of AdConversion.ai. This is a consulting company where we pretty much solve client acquisition for home service-based businesses. You can see here on our ad account on Facebook, we spent just over $150K last year. And then on the Google networks, we spent just under $1 million on converting mechanisms for people in the home service-based businesses. All right, let's get right into it. So the FCC is going to start suing businesses that rely on telemarketing and text blasts to acquire new clients. If your main way of acquiring new clients for your home service-based business is by using call centers or sending text blasts, you have about 9 months at the time of filming this video to figure out a new client acquisition strategy before you start getting fined or worse, getting sued by the FCC. This goes for everyone that provides services to homeowners like solar installers, sales organizations, listing agents, roofers. All those types of businesses will be affected by these new policy updates. In this video, I'm going to be revealing what the new updates are and how they will affect your business moving forward. But in order to better understand what's happening and how you can use these new changes to your advantage, we got to go all the way back to 2003. And in 2003, the Federal Trade Commission introduced the DNC registry, which is the Do Not Call registry. Since then, over 250 million phone numbers have been added. This new order was put in place to give consumers a bit more peace of mind and not be disturbed throughout their day with unwanted phone calls. It was also to help telemarketers operate more efficiently by screening out consumers who don't want to be contacted. Unless, of course, you had consent to call them. And I'm going to touch on that a bit later. This new do not call policy introduced a new loophole. When it came into effect, it put a lot of businesses out of commission. Some even got fined or sued in court for contacting people on the do not call list. Due to this new update, back in 2003, a new business segment was now born. Enter the lead generation and data aggregator company. You can see here in this chart that I pulled of number of people using the internet. In 2003 would be about right here, which is pretty much at the beginning of the peak of people starting to adopt the internet and use it more in homes and all of that. So these newly formed companies capitalized on the all-time high adoption rate of the internet and the new loophole that was created by the do not call list to acquire clients' data or leads and sell it back to businesses multiple times over. All right, so what was the loophole? Pretty much a text disclaimer that opted leads out of the do not call list if they were on it. This is one of the disclaimers I pulled from one of the lead generation companies, and I'm going to go over it with you here. So it reads, by choosing View My Quote, you consent to receive auto-dialed marketing calls and or SMS text messages, including the use of pre-recorded voice or pre-recorded messages and emails about insurance-related services at the number you provide. From Insurify, Compare.com, State Farm, Media Alpha, their marketing partners, and agents. Any carrier on our panel, even if you are on the do not call list. All right, I'm going to stop there. You can see here, marketing partners and agents are hyperlinked, right? So how were they able to do this? What would happen is the lead generation company or data aggregator would set up a landing page offering some kind of free quote or some kind of comparison to lure the leads in for that product or service. They would collect the information, name, email, phone number, and on the final step is where they had the disclaimer. And if we look at marketing partners and agents, which was hyperlinked, you can see here for marketing partners, you can see all the marketing partners that this user is agreeing to be contacted by, right? And then we go over to agents, it's even longer. Like, look at this, literally thousands and thousands of companies, names, and all of that are able to have access to this data simply by the user entering their information. All right, so by opting into these types of websites, users ultimately gave up all their rights to the companies that ran them. The companies were able to have full access to that data and also save it to resell year after year to multiple different types of businesses. An example is Zillow. We all know Zillow for home comparisons, home evaluations, and even finding homes. Zillow forecasted revenue of $404 million to $437 million. The company forecast Premier Agent, which is the section of Zillow that resells data, a revenue of $313 to $338 million for this period, down from $363 million in Q1 of 2022, right? So these companies are literally making millions, and this is not for the year. This is only in Q1. So they're making, and if there's 4 quarters, they're making well over $1 billion in a year. Now, let's take a look at the new policy updates. The first update is one-to-one consent. So no more buying data for telemarketing without explicit one-to-one consent from each lead. So what that is, what that looks like is now these data aggregator companies, if this was Zillow or Insurify, like I showed you there, the marketing partners and the agents, no longer can they get away with just setting up one landing page and collecting all the data for all of those marketing or all those marketing partners and agents. They would have to set up specific pages for each of those people or of those companies on their marketing list and the agent list. And that's just not feasible for these types of companies. The second update is clear and conspicuous disclosure. Leads must be informed upfront about which company will contact them, eliminating hidden disclosure. So like I showed you before, where you can have marketing partners or agents hidden or hyperlinked inside of your disclosure, you no longer can do that. This is what a disclosure has to look like now. Now, a client or the user or the lead would have to check mark or agree to these terms of services, and I'll read it out to you. I agree to the terms and conditions. This can still be hyperlinked, that's not a problem, provided by company A, B, and C. So this is the one-to-one consent. You need to, the client or the user now needs to consent to getting contacted by the specific company. And then clear and conspicuous disclosure is by providing my phone number, I agree to receive automated calls or texts from company ABC. So the specific company that will be calling and texting them, they need to see that company there and agree to be contacted by that specific company. Logically and topically related, contacting leads must align with the reason they filled out the opt-in form, preventing fines for unrelated calls, which means if a lead opts in to receive a home evaluation, you can't call them about solar. You can't contact them about their roof, nor can you contact them about windows or doors or anything like that. If they opted in for a home evaluation, they could only be contacted from that specific company about a home evaluation. And then the fourth update is burden of proof for valid consent. companies must maintain documented proof of opt-in form completion, ensuring compliance. So on these forms now, you now have to pretty much use a software to capture a screen video capturing the user's digital fingerprint or digital footprint, which is going to capture their IP. It's going to record them going through the form, filling it out, and all of that. And those are the new updates. So what does this mean for businesses? These new updates mean the control is back in the business owner's side. This is an opportunity that should not be taken for granted and embraced heavily. Like in 2003, when the lead generation companies and data aggregators were able to capitalize and make billions by leveraging quote or comparison sites to acquire massive amounts of data to resell back to the business owner, you now have the opportunity to leverage the same mechanisms they used with a quote comparison or personified brand to acquire leads. But instead of selling that data, you can use it to close way more deals for your business. Now, if you got any value from that, be sure to drop a comment below and let us know what kind of home service based business that you do. And look out for further videos from me. What I'm going to be doing is making another video going over in depth how you can use a quote comparison website or even a personified brand, just like these lead generation and data aggregator companies were using to acquire data. I'm going to show you how you can do that for yourself. Comment below if you want to see that video, and I'll release it shortly. That's it for me. You take care. Have yourself a great day.